Nazdar rockeři, je tady další díl Backstage, tentokrát jsme v ostravském klubu Garáž. Dneska večer je tady koncert kapely SONATA ARCTICA a já tady mám milé hosty. Hi guys, welcome. So this is the keyboard player Henrik and the bass player Pasi. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you here. How are you excited about tonight's concert?
Well, I mean, we're really excited. You know, we've been waiting a long time to get back on the road, and we finally are doing it. And it's nice to be back in the Czech Republic. So yeah, I think tonight's going to be quite good.
Okay. I have a lot of questions. I hope you have some energy for that, for our fans. Okay, so Sonata Arctica. It's been existing for over 20 years. I know there's like 10 studio albums, 2 acoustic albums, 3 concert albums, many compilations, EPs, singles, DVD. Well, you have been pretty busy over those 20 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Okay, so let's take it from the beginning. The band was established in 1996. It was Tricky Beans. Then the name changed to Tricky Means, and then in '99 it changed to Sonata Arctica. Why were there these changes of the names of the title?
Well, I think the guys. I mean, I just joined the band in 2002, and Pasi a bit later. But the guys were changing around because I don't know. They just felt like it when they were starting out, and then eventually when the band signed with Spine Farm Records and did their first album, then the label said that, okay, guys, you have to figure out something else, and actually a friend of the band came up with the name Sonata Arctica.
Well, it sounds really nice. I mean, to me, the first album, Ecliptica, how were the reactions to that?
Well, I think it was kind of a shock for everybody because nobody knew what to expect, and as far as I know from the guys, what they have told me that it was pretty much an instant success, and especially then the follow-up Silence was also really big, and so it was really fast once things started happening for the band. It went really quickly.
Right, and from the beginning, Tony, the lead singer, he also played the keyboards, right? Do you know, he probably told you why he decided not to play anymore and just sing?
Well, it was a decision made because of the live things. It's easier to sing if you're not stuck behind the keyboard. And then they searched for a keyboard player and they find Mikko Harkin, who was there for, I think, a couple of years. In the beginning, and then he left in 2001, and in 2002, no, he left in 2002, I think, yeah, and that's when they had auditions for keyboard player, and I got the job.
Okay, well, I heard some funny story about the audition. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, I mean, I mean,
the thing that they told you.
It's been a widely spread rumor that they were deciding on who gets to be in the band based on the drinking skills, but that's not really true. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was not only being able to play these songs and knowing that kind of thing, but also they wanted a guy who they could stand and be around, and especially, for example, now. When we've been on tour, we started at the end of September, so it's been almost 10 weeks, and if you don't get along, it's going to be really hard. So I think that was one of the main points when they were picking who's going to be the keyboard player. They wanted somebody who they can get along with.
I understand that, and that makes sense. You know, when you are on the tour, like most of the time, the band members become like part of your family. So it's very important that you get along. Besides, of course, you know, the chemistry, music-wise. So I understand that. Okay. Over those years, you've played with bands like Gamma Ray or Stratovarius or Nightwish. Do you have any? Like maybe I wouldn't say funny stories, but like good memories, about the cooperation in general.
Yeah, there's a lot, but it's whenever you play some festival and you meet some other Finnish bands, it's always fun to have a beer and a talk, and we have a lot of friends in different bands that you only see once a year on festivals, and it can be people that you basically have known for 10 or 15 years and only meet them once a year. So it's really interesting, but yeah, I think it's always nice when you get a possibility to hang out with other people who are in the same business, especially Finnish bands, because for example, my friends back home, they don't know what it's like. But people who play in a band and tour in a touring band, they know what it's like, so you have a lot in common to discuss.
Right. Well, but you have been touring a lot, like all over the world, right? You have been many times over Europe, Japan, USA, Canada, South America, Latin America, Australia, Russia, Israel, China, Honduras, Taiwan. Have I forgotten anything?
Maybe we don't remember all those countries as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
because of the...
I think there's some kind of maybe 50 countries that we have toured around. So
Yeah, I think
we remember where we have been, but if we need to list the names, it's hard to do.
So, are there any places where you haven't played it and you would like to?
Iceland, maybe.
Okay.
that was what I was going to say as well. Yeah.
All right. So, when you travel all around the world, you meet different types of people, right? Different venues, different different types of people. What I wanted to ask is about the audience, because even the Czech Republic is very small, but you know the audience is different in different parts of the country. But when you take the world, okay, the difference must be huge. So how would you where do you think is the best audience ever?
Well, if you pick one country, everybody else is going to hate you.
Yeah.
So, it depends on what you mean by best. I think for a band like us that is working quite a lot, the main thing is that when you go and play somewhere, people show up. And for example, in Finland, people are a lot more easygoing and maybe not so loud. And then somewhere in South America, people are just yelling and screaming all the time. And then you have everything in between. So I think for us, we are really lucky to go different places, and as you said, to meet different kind of people and different kind of fans. And so I wouldn't say, I think Lemmy said it best. He said, as long as they show up and go hurrah, I'm happy. So.
And how do you feel about the Czech audience? How are the Czech fans? How do they react to your music?
It's been always good time here, and I think the audience is everywhere. It's good, as you said, that it's diverse from the place to place. But I think it's everywhere. It's really good audiences. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for example tonight's going to be really, really great. We have a Saturday night, and you know how to drink some beer, so I think it's going to be exciting.
All right. And tonight you're playing the acoustic concert, right? Are there the songs from both acoustic albums, or just some of them?
Yeah, we have I don't remember how many songs we were playing, but we picked from both of the albums, just made a set list and tried to make it work somehow.
Right, okay. How did you pick the songs to make them acoustic for those two albums?
Well, we started, actually we have done some acoustic stuff before and a tour in 2019, and so when we started to record, we first took the songs that we knew that worked very well on the shows, because they were already arranged and everything, so we just recorded them. And then after that we started to try different kind of songs, and some stuff worked and some didn't. So it was a bit of a struggle. But
yeah, basically it happened in the studio. We picked up the songs and tried to play them and arrange and we so that which work, and then we started to record them.
Did you always agree on what's working and what's not, or did you always?
had-
Did you have any disagreements?
We had a producer. I mean, the way we worked, it worked like the band got together with the producer and just to record the instrumental parts. But no, we didn't always agree. But in the end, yeah, after some fighting, we tend to agree.
All right. So when did you even start playing acoustic songs, and how did you come to that idea?
Well, that was, I think, first time was in 2016. It was about to become, I mean, before that sometimes you did like one song here, one song there, but that was the first time we did full shows, acoustic shows, and it was before the summer, and I realized that we are going to do summer festival for the third year, and with the same album, and I thought we had to come up with something, so I called Tony and said, like, what about if we do it acoustically? And he started laughing and said that it was so stupid that we should try it. So we tried it and did a handful of show acoustically in Finland. And then 2019 we did it again, we did like a tour of it, and from there it took off.
Yeah, and as you said that you had already before I joined the band, you had those acoustic, what you can say that middle of electric show you had a part of acoustic things, and
We did like 2 or 3 songs.
yeah, and then when I joined, we had a couple of radio shows and one show in a boat that we did acoustic, and we knew that it works, so that was the reason that we could do the whole night.
Okay, and so if you had to choose which, for playing live, which type of the concert do you like more, or which do you enjoy as the musician?
Both. They're really different, and acoustic shows there are more easygoing and like mellow things, but of course you then think that the rocking hard is the real thing, but of course when you have 100 metal shows, then you think that those mellow acoustic shows they're great to play as well, but yeah, both have their own ways.
Yeah, I think also like playing the acoustic stuff it's a lot harder because everything is so sensitive and there's so many small things you have to remember and do and stuff like that. So it's more of a challenge, I think. In rock show you just rock on and then you play your solo and then you rock on a little bit more. So it's easier.
I was gonna ask about that because maybe from the position of a singer, I know that when you play acoustically, you can hear everything, every breath, every little tone, it's very sensitive. So the preparation must be also harder.
Yeah, definitely. And also, for example, when we made the albums, we decided that we're gonna record all the music live and not use a click track or anything. So we have to get everything right and have everybody play and in sync and make it work. So also the recording process was a bit brutal at times to make it. But we did. I mean, I think it was about 25 songs in 10 days. So but we started in the morning and worked until night. So it was not so easy. But yeah, as you said, it's the acoustic stuff. You're so naked because you can hear everything. And you have to focus.
Mm-hmm. The acoustic tour is in progress now. Now it's rolling, right? How are you happy so far with everything?
Really good so far, and we have still 7, 8 shows
I
to
stopped
go.
counting. I gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have a few shows left. I mean, the total count is going to be almost 50 shows.
Yeah.
And we do them all pretty much after each other. So we have I think 1 more week and then we go home.
Do your children still sleep in the safe of their cradle so sweet? The story I told you I have foreseen. Your little angel ain't always so clean. Days to come aren't easy to see. You can change them, but it isn't free. I see that you don't believe. Oh, but you will see. Only a child, reckless and wild, needs to come home again. He promised the moon, but won't
All right, so back to your other albums, then Acoustics. One of the albums is called Telviyö.
Telviyö, yeah.
Telviyö.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's difficult to pronounce it. So why did you choose this title, and what does it mean?
Well, it means winter night.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Tony suggested it just to tease with people and hear how people try to pronounce it. But it was also, I think, it was something that, to be more serious, it was something that described the music that we had for that album.
Okay, so winter night. All right. Okay, I was gonna ask him to say řízek. You know, can you pronounce řízek?
Řízek?
Řízek.
Řízek.
Yeah. Okay, you're very close. That's good. Teasing people. Okay, well, that's a schnitzel in Czech. Just so you know. All right. How about some new music? Are you preparing anything new?
Yeah, I think Tony has a bunch of demos already, and as soon as we get home in a week or so, we're gonna take the rest of the year off. Okay. And then in the beginning of next year, we're gonna start recording some stuff, and then I think we have the 25th anniversary tour that we have been postponing forever. I mean, we got to do it or play it somewhere, but we still have the Latin American part to be done. So we're doing that, and then we go back into the studio, and then summer festivals, and we're probably going to be here next fall, or maybe even in the summer already.
We'd love you to come back, of course.
Oh, we will be back.
That's good. That's good. Speaking of your other albums or all albums that you have recorded, which is your favorite? Because most musicians, when you ask them, you know, which is your favorite album, they say, well, the last one, that is the best. But
yeah, that's been asked a lot, and usually when you have the new album, it's the latest one is the best because you have just used so much energy and time for it, and that's the new one. But now it's already 3 years since it's released, and of course it's still best album. But the most meaningful album for me is Pariah's Child, because that's the first one I was in the band.
Yeah, I think for me it was like maybe Reckoning Night or Unia were the albums, because that was the first two that I was involved with, and but then also picking your favorite album is a little bit like if you have to pick your favorite child. It doesn't really work like that. So, but I would say that the next album is my favorite.
okay, that's
because
a good answer.
Yeah, because we try to almost make it. You know, you always try to do your best, and you hope that you learn and get better. So always the following album should be always the best album.
My favorite song is I Have a Right, and I think your fans and our viewers and listeners of our radio also know it. Do you remember, or do you know how it was created and why?
Yeah, it was something that I think it was after Tony's first kid was born. He started to think about other things than all these wolves and sad love stories and things like that. So at least that's what he has said, and so that's I think where the lyrics came from. But I remember how the song came. I mean, we were actually at the point we were doing the way that we recorded the drums at Pasi's studio, even though he wasn't in the band, and all the drums had been recorded, and then Tony just sent an email to tell me that, wait, I have one more song.
Oops.
Yeah.
Oops, there came a new song after the drums were
So that
already recorded.
Oh my
for the
God!
album.
Okay, so that was the last song on the album.
Yes.
The last one to
Okay.
record it, and it was not supposed to be on the album.
Yeah.
All right.
So he sent that, and then you recorded
Yeah.
it with Tommy. Yeah.
And the first take went. Tommy's first take is on the album.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
It's-
so
it
that was
after
that
the-
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
okay.
of course afterwards it was like, there was this last song, and everybody okay. And then of course we played the rest of our parts there. But yeah, so that was something that, you know, it might have been, if something would have gone differently, it wouldn't be on the album. So,
Well, it definitely has a powerful message, right?
yeah, I like the song. It's good.
And speaking of the lyrics of the songs, well, they're romantic, they're melancholic, but they're very like motivating, inspiring. Is that is that your goal, you know, to pass this message on people? Because I believe that music is a very powerful tool. It's like the shortcut to your to people's souls, maybe, and it can harm you, but it can heal you, in my opinion. So is your goal or your message to like help the world or help people?
I think this is, of course, something Tony should answer because he's the lyricist. But as far as I know, I mean, he's happy to tell stories. He's interested in a lot of different things, and he wants to tell maybe not always so much his view about things, but just, you know, make up stuff. And I think the bottom line that we want to do as a band is not to, you know, become a very political band or religious band or something like that, but we want to offer people a chance to relax and go on a journey and, you know, something else than what happens in everyday life. You know, so for example, tonight we tried to build a set that you get like for 1.5 hours, you get to think about something else than whatever's going on in your life and whatever shit is going on or whatever. So that's I think the most important thing that you can do with music. Like, you entertain people and let them escape for a little bit.
I'm not you. Give me the right to be heard, to be seen, to be loved, to be free, to be everything I need, to be me, to be safe, to believe in something. 'Cause I have a right to be heard, to be seen, to be loved, to have every gift I need, to be me, to be safe, to believe in something.
When I look at all the covers of your albums, you very rarely see the pictures of you. There are always some beautiful drawings or paintings. Is there one person that prepares all the covers for you, or more people?
It
because
depends.
it looks very compact, you know, it
Yeah.
looks very unified.
Well, Janne Pitkänen, who also done Nightwish, and who else, I don't remember, but he's done a lot of our albums. Telviyö was a picture from another guy.
Yeah, it is a little bit different because the cover photo is an actual photo from somewhere.
There was
Finnish photographer.
yeah, I forgot the name of the dude, which is of course a bit embarrassing. But he won some competition. I saw his photos and I sent an email to Tony like, look, check this dude out. And Tony was like, yeah, I've seen this guy before. And I was like, well, shouldn't, you know, this could work. And so Tony asked him and he said yes. And but Janne Pitkänen has done really a lot, most of our stuff, including the logo and all that. So.
Okay, so tonight, how are you looking forward to tonight's show?
Really waiting. Yeah. It will be packed.
Are they taking good care of you here?
Oh yeah, we just ate, so that's why we are like. I mean, this is usually around the time that we take maybe a little short nap, you know, watch some movies.
And we woke you up. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We can go back to sleep for a little while before the show.
So, very last question. Would you like to say anything to our to your fans, to our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's we've been coming here since I think the band started coming here back in 2000 or something, and it's always been nice. We've been enjoying the festivals and club shows, and you know, thanks for showing up, and we'll be back. Yeah. Thanks for waiting.
Thank you very much. I would like to wish you all the best. Great show, not only here but everywhere you go. Good health. Say hi to the rest of the band, please.
Yep.
And please come back again.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ahoy.